Now I'm recording this session. Good. So today we're going to be working on our class number 10, which is only one class, right? And well, I'm going to start with a picture, with a very simple picture. I would like you to tell me, what is that? What is it? What do you see in the screen?
It's a hand with, I don't know, the finger. I don't know what I say. That expression.
Thumb. Thumb, it's like pulgar, you know? This one is the
Thumb. ¿Cómo? Or how? Thumb.
thumb. That's pulgar, yes? So
Yeah.
in that case, well, what you see is a hand with a thumb up, you know? So actually the
Okay.
expression is thumbs up. Hmm? What is the meaning of that expression? When the people says like that, or when the people makes that sign, what is the meaning of that?
Teacher, as it's okay
It's okay,
or
very
it's
good.
good.
It's okay, or it's good. Sorry. It's good. Anything else? Any other meaning?
It's a sign of approbation, right?
Approval.
Yeah.
It's a sign of approval, no? So it's actually the same, just like it's okay or it's good. Basically, it's like no pro, right? That it's basically all of them are the same sense, no? They have the same sense, like no problem, everything is okay, it's good, it's like approved, no? Something approved. So this is a worldwide sign, no? So this is a worldwide. What is the meaning of worldwide when I say it's a worldwide sign? Any idea? What is the meaning of worldwide?
Worldwide? No. I don't know.
No idea. Andre, do you know?
No, teacher, no idea.
Well, don't worry. Worldwide, it's something that it's the same in all the world, no? So it's like worldly famous, no? Like every in all the world, the people know it, no? So it's like mundial, right? That's it, like across all the planet. So this is a worldwide sign, no? Because of course, this sign it's understood in all the planet. It doesn't matter the language that you speak. This is a language that everybody speaks. Sorry, this is a sign that everybody understands, right? So something that everybody understands. When you said this sign, okay, we know that there is no problem, right? But in the same way, we are going to have other different kind of signs, no? Because this one, it's easy to understand. We are sure that it's like no problem, it's approved, right? But let's see here. I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to make it bigger so we can read together, that in different parts of the world, they have different signs, right? Andre, could you please help me to read the first different sign, which is the earlobe, you know, like how did you say that? El vestíbulo, how did you say that in the part of the ear? Like, you know, moving like this, the ear, that's the sign. But we're going to see that it means something different in different parts of the word. So, Andre, could you please help me to read?
The Portuguese took their arrows to indicate tasty food, but in Italy, this gesture has sexual connotation.
And in Spain?
And in Spain, it means someone is not playing for their drinks.
Paying for their drinks. Good.
Paying.
Exactly, very good. So, well, they say that this sign, when you move your earlobe, you know, like this part, when you do like that, yeah, it's something different. In Portugal, like for the Portuguese people, the people in Portugal, it means that the food is good, it's delicious, that the food is delicious, no? But for the Italian people, it has sexual connotations, you know, when they do like that, something sexual. And in Spain, or for the Spanish people, it means that someone is not paying for the drinks, not like someone is trying to scam. So the same sign, it's different in different parts of the world, right? Manu, let's see if you can read these two. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay.
Yeah. A hearty nose blow into a handkerchief, handkerchief,
Handkerchief. Uh-huh.
a handkerchief is typical in the West, while public nose blowing is frowned upon by the Japanese.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Taping your nose means confidential in England, but watch out in Italy.
Exactly. So for example, taking about the nose, we have that blowing your nose, like sonarse, handkerchief is pañuelo. So blow your nose
Yeah.
into a handkerchief. It's typical in the West. It's common, no? The people blow their nose and that's it. But in Japan, is frown upon. The expression frown upon, it means mal visto, no? So the people says like, "Whoosh, this person is super rude, no?
Oh, right.
In Japan,
Yeah.
when it's frowned upon. So again, one sign or one gesture which is different in one place of the word and in another. And also the same as tapping your nose. Tapping your nose is making this action, no? So tapping your nose. It means that something is confidential in England, but in Italy, it means like, hey, watch out, no? Like be careful, right? Also in that case, right? So in this case, we're going to see that we have different kind of signs in different, like different signs that mean different in different parts of the body, no? So they mean something different in different parts of the world, no? So if it's in Europe, it's something. If it's in Latin America, it's another thing. It's that. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about meaning. What is the meaning of meaning?
Salud.
Significado.
Significado, right? Significado. So it's the verb, the same as the verb mean, which means significado, no? So that's why we said, what is the meaning of ta ta ta? ¿Qué significa? And when I say, okay, it means significa ta ta ta, right? Or for example, the question, what do you mean? What is the meaning of the expression, what do you mean?
¿Cómo qué quieres decir? Algo
Exactly,
así.
como a qué te refieres, qué quieres decir, right? Like, que literalmente sería como qué significas, pero en un contexto sería como qué quieres decir, a qué te refieres, right? Very good. Or if I say, what does it mean? What does it mean?
¿Qué significa eso?
¿Qué significa eso? Very good. Ready? So we have seen that there are different body gestures or body signs that they mean differently in different countries, right? I'm gonna have you one that I know that you know what is the meaning of that. What is the meaning of this sign? Look at the camera. What is the meaning of this sign when I do this?
Like it's wrong, or I want to kill you, right?
There are different meanings, no, but it's something always bad, no? So maybe it's that it's wrong, something is wrong, or sometimes it has to do with kill somebody, kill someone. And there any other meaning of this sign when I say like
Teacher, complex.
complex?
It's complex
Ah,
or
okay.
it's difficult.
It's difficult, no? So something is difficult. Good also. Like it's difficult. It's like there is a problem, no? Like it's the opposite of this one. We have this one, no? In Colombia, we have this, like there is a problem.
In
Maybe it's
Colombia, it's
wrong,
paila.
maybe it's difficult. Tell me. Yes, again.
In Colombia, it's paila.
In Colombia, basically, it's paila, and the expression
However,
paila,
is always something wrong, something bad.
something is always bad, right? So maybe it's to kill somebody, maybe it's something difficult, maybe it's that something is wrong, maybe that there is a problem, but it always has a negative connotation, right? So very good. The idea is that today we're going to learn how can we express those possibilities, no? Because of course, in this case, we are sure because we are Colombian. But what about if we talk about to a Argentinian or to an American person and we say like, no, paila, the person is going to say, paila, ¿cómo así? O sea, la del sartén or what? So the person is going to be very confused. Today, The idea is that we can express and explain all of those things that we are sure or not sure about it, and that we can express and explain to other people, right? So I have a question for you. I have three pictures, no? So like three selfies, like call it that way. What do you think it's this face meaning? What does it mean?
Some disgusted.
Okay, so
Uh,
he is disgusted, right?
right.
Good, very good. Any other possible?
Um, disgusted.
Picture
When
annoying.
you
He's annoyed. Good, very good. That's it.
when
Probably,
do you taste something bad? You taste something bad, and your face. What do I mean?
okay, so he tasted something bad, no? Something maybe like a lemon or something like that, no? So, or something
Yeah.
rotten, no? Something which was damaged. Good, very good. I would say I perceive that he what? He hurt his pinky toe. You know what is the pinky toe? Pinky toe?
Uh, yeah, el dedo pequeño del pie.
Exactly. So I would say that he hurted his pinky toe. No, that's what I think. Number two, what do you think? What does it mean? Number two,
It's boring.
bored, bored.
Bored.
He's
Yeah.
bored. Remember that ing is for the person, not so
Yeah.
like boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's bored. Good. Uh-huh. Maybe another one.
Uh, somnolent. Some.
Once again,
Well,
sorry.
when you want to sleep
Ah,
and
sleepy.
you
Sleepy.
sleepy, right?
He's sleepy. Okay, maybe two. Yeah, that's it. Andre, anything else? Any other?
He is disinteresting,
Good.
maybe.
He's like, how do you say that? He's demotivated.
Yes.
Like he's not interested. Good. Okay, very good, perfect. And number three, what do you think is number three meaning?
Confused. Like he don't know what do you mean. What do you say?
Exactly. Well, so he's confused, like he doesn't understand anything, no? So he's confused. Maybe there is another possibility. I would say no, no. I would say confused is the most probable here, because the face and the hand gesture, probably this is the most common one here, right? So if you notice, in the first phase, we had a lot of different possibilities. We have four. In the second one, we have a little bit less because it was a little bit more self-explanatory, like something more clear. And in the last one, we had only one because it's something that it was obvious, right? So depending on that, we have different degrees of certainty. Do you know what is the meaning of the word certainty?
No.
Andre, do you know, maybe?
Teacher no es como seguro o algo así, algo relacionado. Más o menos.
Certeza. What we call
Certeza.
certainty is certeza.
Ujú.
So sometimes we are uncertain, which means incierto. For example, here we say like, no sé, puede ser cualquier cosa, ¿no? But tiene muchas opciones. Or sometimes we are certain. It means cierto, cierto de seguro, ¿no? So, but in this case, for example, says, he's confused. Estoy seguro, ¿no? Estoy en lo cierto, estoy seguro que, o sea, tengo la certeza que está confundido. Porque no hay más opción, la cara es muy obvia. Entonces, in that case, when I talk about certainty, sometimes I talk about something which is very certain, like obviously, or sometimes it's something that it's like, I don't know, and it's a possibility. For describing these possibilities or for describing these degrees of certainty, we have some modal verbs, okay? So we're going to see that at the beginning, we have three different degrees of certainty, yes? We have first, when we are completely sure, right? Second, when we say like, it's a possibility, but not sure. So it's like 50-50, right? And the last one, like no idea. I am making suppositions because I have no idea. So in that case, we have these three different levels. It's the opposite way. Oh my God, sorry. Here it's no idea with these three, and certain or sure with these three, right? So the first two are going to be might or may. I don't know. It's a possibility. It may be, but I'm not sure. Or it's also a possibility that I can include the adverbs, The adverbs are going to be these words that modify the sentence. Maybe, what is the meaning of maybe?
Tal vez.
Tal vez.
Tal vez, de pronto, quizás, and perhaps.
Ahí sí sería quizás.
Quizás is the same, So in that case, both adverbs are telling me like something like, it's a possibility, but actually no idea. I don't know. I am not sure, right? I have no idea. Also in the second level, 50-50. I can use could, that is the modal verb for it's a possibility, but I am not sure. Or the adverbs possibly and probably. What is the meaning of possibly?
Posible.
Posible.
Posiblemente, ready? And probably?
Probablemente.
Probablemente, very good. So in that case, when we have possibly and probably or could, it's like, okay, it's a possibility, but it's not completely sure, like 50-50. Could be, could not be, right? And the last one, the last degree of certainty is when I am sure. When I am completely sure, I said must, must is like debe ser tal cosa, so it's a possibility, it's very certain. Or if it's an adverb, I'm going to use definitely or certainly. Definitely, what is the meaning of that?
Definitivamente.
Definitivamente. And certainly?
Ciertamente.
Ciertamente, very good. Also, I can say, for example, surely. What is the meaning of surely?
Seguramente.
Seguramente, muy bien. So I am saying that it's something sure, right? The idea is that I can include these modal verbs in the beginning of the sentence in order to describe if I am sure or not. Then we have one possibility of sentence that it's like using it, like talking about the gesture, right? And the modal verb or the adverb, and then the verb mean or means, right? Which means significar, So in this case, for example, we said that this phrase is confused. Estamos seguros. Which modal can I use? Será could? Será might? Será must? What do you think?
Must.
Must, because I am sure. So I said, it must mean he is confused. There is no other possibility. We are sure. So that's why we use must. Ready? In the same way, I can do the same on the other hand, which is with the adverbs, no? So it surely, for example, or definitely, or certainly, right? It surely means the same. He is confused, right? So we use the most, like most, or definitely, or certainly, or surely, because we are sure. But if we were talking about one of the other phases that we saw here, we probably wouldn't use most or definitely or certainly because we are not so sure. So I'm going to repeat the question. What does it mean, number one?
It must be disgusted.
But
Disgusted.
most, are you sure? Completely sure? Because we have other possibilities.
Well,
Teacher, no.
Good.
And Andre.
Bueno, estoy confundida como con la estructura, pero no sé si se puede decir como maybe o may.
Both
might.
Possibilities? Three
May
possibilities. Actually, four
is
possibilities.
disgusted.
Okay, so it
Or could.
It might.
It, bueno, may o might, cualquiera de los cuatro, ¿no? So it
Sí.
might, o may, o maybe, o perhaps. Dice Manu, could. Sí, también podría ser. Depende, digamos, si digo could, pues lo que estoy diciendo es que estoy un poquito más seguro, pero no completamente, pero también podría ser. And then
Yeah,
remember, the verb mean.
mean.
Yeah? And then, ahora sí, it might mean that he is disgusted. It's a possibility. But also, it perhaps means that he hurt his pinky toe. That's a possibility. Also, it maybe means that he is annoyed. That's another possibility, you know? So, difference. When I use the adverbs, maybe and perhaps and possibly and probably, the verb is conjugated. So it has to be in the third person. It maybe means, it probably means, you see? When I use the modal verb, the adverb, it's in third person. When I use the modal verb, no, because the verb after the modal verb is always in infinitive. So it's mean, doesn't matter the subject. So it must mean, it could mean, it might mean, but when it's with the adverb, then in that case, I have to include the S of the third person. Ready? Good? So far, good?
Uh,
Yes?
good, good. Yeah.
More practice, more practice.
Teacher, what is
Yeah.
the traduction
Of
of
what?
this? It must mean.
Debe significar
Ah, ya.
que, ta, ta, ta.
Okay.
Yes? Oh, you know? Also, of course, I mean, lo colocamos con el verbo mean, pero puedes cambiar el verbo también. For example, it must be, debe ser que, it must be that he is confused. Yes?
Or
And
his expression must mean that he is confused.
exactly, very good. Well, when I say it, es como para resumirlo, pero sí, it se refiere
Yes.
a his expression, the gesture, that sign, you know? So that sign or that face or his expression or his eyes, no sé, whatever, ¿no? So, pero pues lo resumo con it, pero puede ser cualquiera de esas cosas. Perfecto. ¿Listo? Bien, muy bien.
Yes, teacher.
The same, for example, if I say here with surely, it's like, ah, bueno, seguramente significa que, ta, 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 you know? Probablemente significa que, o de pronto quizás significa que, ta, ta, ta. Ready? Good?
Good.
Bueno.
And a question, teacher. And if we can use must be without the it. I can do that, or is obligatory to use it in the
Mano,
beginning.
I forgot, se me olvidó que te iba a decir, in the formal English, you know, like in a formal conversation, it's necessary to include the subject. But in a casual
Yeah.
conversation, you can omit the subject. So if you're talking with a person, you could say must be something, must
Oh.
be must be a bad sign or something like that. But in a formal conversation, you know, like in the school, in the work, it's necessary always to include the subject. Ready?
Right. Yeah, because I heard that before.
Yeah, of course. I
But
mean, it's
yes.
possible to omit the subject as far as it's a casual conversation, like in the street with friends, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Bueno, guys, again, what does it mean, number two?
Teacher, it
you.
could means he's bored.
It could mean he is bored. Good, that's it. Any other possibility?
It maybe means he's sleepy.
It maybe means he's sleepy. So what is the difference? When I say could, more possible. When I say maybe, less possible, but it's the same, no? So
Yeah.
good, the same. For example, if I want to use could, instead of using could, I could say it possibly means that he's sleepy. That's it. Also a possibility, right? So that's it. And the last one, bueno, we already saw it. So with most, certainly or surely, because we are sure that that's what it means, right? Hasta ahí como van. Questions, difficulties, problems, easy.
Good, teacher.
No, it's easy. Depends on the sentence, right?
Okay, good, very good. Bueno, guys, so if it's easy, we're going to go to the next activity. The next activity is super simple. Here we just have some emojis, right? So we have here some emojis. Let's talk about what possibly means, because some of them are clear, some of them are confusing, right? For example, let's see. What do you think? What do you think it means this one? This is, wait, sorry, let me change the color. What does it mean? This one, the red one. What does it mean?
It must be a hungry face.
Do you think so? Angry?
No, teacher.
Well, I see that.
I would say that angry is this one, no? Like, me look at this one, like,
Yes.
Yeah, well,
the,
I don't know what I mean that face.
well, so what do you think, Andre?
Teacher, it must mean or means it's hot.
Okay, could be good, but I would say it could be because in my perception, it could mean that the person is embarrassed or nervous, no? Like when you get
Okay.
nervous that you start
Oh,
sweating, like, oh my God. For me, that's what I said. It could mean, that he is nervous and embarrassed. No, that's it. Good. Okay, very good. Remember, I am not saying most because it's my interpretation. I am not completely sure. And this one, it's kind of confusing, but okay, very good. What about, guys? What about if we have, I was going to show you, this one, sorry. Next one. What does it mean? The one that is next to it.
uh, eh, it it may mean a sleepy face.
I would say so too. I would say it possibly means that the person is sleepy. That's it. Andre, anything else? Any other possibility?
Teacher, it could mean it's tired.
Also, it could mean that the person is tired, right? Perfect. That's it. Now, what does this one mean?
It must be a screen face.
Okay, very good. So it must mean, or it must be a screaming face, or it must mean that the person is screaming. Okay. Listo.
Yes,
Andre,
correct.
anything else?
Teacher, it may mean that a person have rage.
Okay, well, yes, exactly. So it must mean, for me, it is too, that the person is angry, no? So, rage is when we have like an episode of, for example, road rage, which
Okay.
is like como la ira de la carretera cuando estás manejando
Sí,
y se
sí.
te sale todo. But in this case, it's like common like anger, or the person is angry, could be, better. Muy bien, that's it. Very good. Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah. Also, maybe it means that the person is crying, no? So also that's another possibility, right? Bueno, muy bien. And guys, what about this one? It's super easy. What does it mean?
Uh, mm, it must be that you be quiet.
Okay, it must mean to be quiet. Como no es una acción como hacer silencio, just
Yeah,
to be quiet. Yeah, good.
quiet.
Very good. Yeah. Any other interpretation, Andre, maybe? Or that's the only one?
No, teacher, I agree.
I agree. Yeah. I would say, well, to be quiet, of course, that's the one. But I would say also that we can interpret that it surely means to keep a secret. Maybe, no? Well, let's say possibly, no? It possibly means also to keep a secret, right? So,
All right, yeah.
It could be, I mean, of course, for sure, it's to be quiet, but maybe like to be quiet in the classroom, or possibly it's like to be quiet to keep a secret, no? Could be. Bueno, guys, basically, so that was the idea over here, in which the idea is to describe possibility. So basically doing it, wait, let me just here, basically doing it with the 6 possibilities, no? So may, might, maybe, perhaps, could, possibly, probably, most, definitely, surely, certainly, depending on your intention. All of them are valid, but it depends on your intention. If you says, no, teacher, I'm sure, use most, you know? There is no correct or incorrect because it depends on your perception, if you are sure or if you are not sure. Ready? Guys, remember, the modal verbs are with mean, just in infinitive. And the adverbs, they are with means in third person. Ready? So maybe, perhaps, possibly, probably, definitely, certainly, surely go with means. Ready? And the modal verbs, no, it's only with me. And that's it. So, good.
And however, it's in modal verbs, like however
However,
or no?
that the connector,
Yeah, no?
that's a connector.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
ready?
connector.
Or is a connector? Yes, exactly. So, muy bien, very good. Any other question, possibility, difficulty, doubt, confusion?
No, teacher.
No, is
No,
that all right?
teacher.
Listo, muy bien, very good. Bueno, we already saw how to describe like certain, if we are sure or not sure. That's the first part, easy, ready? The second part, it's because we are going to also interpret some or try to understand some other different signs. Normally, we have the signs, the okay, the thumbs up, you know, we saw it, it's a worldwide sign. Also, some signs, like, for example, tapping the nose in England is one thing, in Italy is another thing, rubbing the ear, it's one thing, that's so. But when we have signs, we have different kinds of signs, no? Some signs are informative and other signs are orders, or we have other different types. So I want you to tell me, what is the meaning of this sign? What do you understand when you see this sign? It doesn't say anything, but what do you understand when you see this sign?
The sign of the restaurants.
The sign of the restroom, good. And why we have like one guy and one, like this one with a triangle? What is the difference?
One is for women and the other is for men.
This one is for women and this
Well,
one is for men, right? Good. This sign is also worldwide. Everybody understands that this is the restroom, but it's culturally associated with a prohibition, right? When we see this sign, yes, when we see this sign, yes, what we interpret is that the women are not allowed in that place. In the same way, when we see this sign, the other one over here, what we interpret here is that the men are not allowed in that case. So this one, or when we see this little girl in a door, we understand that only women can enter in that place. And the same in this way, no? So we saw this sign, and we understand that only men can enter to that place. So some signs in the word are going, sorry, some signs here, oh my God, here, good. So some signs are going to be describing 3 different things. We're going to see it. The first thing that usually the signs describe are prohibitions. Prohibitions, of course, are things that are prohibited, that are impossible, and the people have prohibited to do, right? Also, we have the possibilities or the informative sentences or the informative signs, sorry, you know, that it's like a permission. Permission, which is like, okay, you have the possibility to do that, to do something, right? And in the second one, what we have is a obligation. Something that it's an obligation to do. It's not informative, it's something that is presenting an obligation. So the Prohibitions and permissions are the opposites. So we have the same structure, just that in the opposite form. When we talk about prohibitions, we're talking about something that you can't do or something that you are not allowed to do. What is the meaning of allow? What is this allowed?
Permitido.
Permitido.
Exactly, good. So when I say you can't or you are not allowed to, it's because we're going to describe a prohibition, no? For example, if in this case we have a little cigarette here, you know, what does it mean?
You can smoke here.
It's a prohibition. The people can't smoke in that part, or the people are not allowed to smoke in that part, right? Notice that the modal verb doesn't require to, while the expression be allowed, es así, it requires the preposition to in affirmative and in negative, right? So you can't smoke here or you are not allowed to smoke here. Prohibition, can't and be not allowed to. On the other hand, on the opposite side, we have the permission, something that the people have the possibility to do, right? So for example, if we see this image is because only, bueno, only women have the permission to enter there. So women can enter there, right? While the guys, in this case, the guys can't enter to this room. And the same way on the other side, no? So when we see this sign, yeah, this one, it's because only men can enter or are allowed, men are allowed to enter there. Yeah, it means that the women are not allowed to enter here, right? So it's a possibility, okay? For example, if you go to a hotel and you see this sign, what is the meaning of that?
The Wi-Fi.
Okay, so you can
the permission, you can use the Wi-Fi here.
you can use or you can connect to the Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
Okay, muy bien, very good. So it's a possibility, no? So you can or you are allowed to connect to the Wi-Fi network, right? Hasta ahí, come on. Easy questions, prohibitions and permissions, problems.
No, good.
Good teacher.
Perfect. And in the second case, well, in the other case, we're going to have obligations. Ready? Obligations are mandatory things that it's an obligation. It's regulated by the law, and the police is going to see that you are doing that, or the authorities have the right to see that, or have the right to obligate you to do that, right? So in this case, the expressions are super simple. It's the modal verb have to. Easy. Have to, it's tener que, right? And have got to. It's the same, but more British, more formal. But also we have the expression gotta. Have you ever listened gotta?
No.
Like when I say I gotta go, I gotta do, I gotta have, I gotta eat.
No, okay.
Yeah, that expression is a like informal simplification for have got to. When I say I gotta, it's have got to. And it means obligation. So I said, I gotta stop. When I see this sign, I have got to stop. It's an obligation, right? Or for example, if I say in the bank, I see a little sign that it's like this, and it's like, okay, something like that. What is the meaning of that? It's an obligation.
You have to keep your cell phone.
In what mode? You have to keep your phone.
Your phone.
On, like.
On vibration.
On vibration, very good. So you have to keep your phone on vibration mode. Ready? So in that case, tell me, Andre, yes.
Always the sentence of prohibitions are negative and obligations are positive.
Obligations might be negative, but at the end it's a prohibition, no? Because when I say that you don't have to, it's like I can say no, you
Okay.
don't have to. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
usually the signs are for expressing the opposite, something that it's mandatory. So I
Yes.
can express obligations like negative when I say like, no, it's not necessary. You don't have to do that. Yes. But if it's a prohibition, then it's always, of course, negative because it's something that you cannot do. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Good. Now, when we talk about also like things that are mandatory but negative, we can use mustn't. For
Oh,
example,
yeah, yeah.
if you are in a library, yes, you mustn't speak loud. You know, you must not speak loud, which is the same that you have to be quiet, right? So usually we don't express the obligations negative, but we express it on the opposite side, like something that you have to do. But it's a possibility to use it negative, but in that case with the modal verb mustn't. Okay, Andre? Like you don't have to do that.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, good, excellent. Bueno, so in that
Okay.
case, we can see that in all the three cases, we have after that a verb in infinitive. No, so you can smoke, you have to keep, you can enter, you are not allowed to enter. So always in the three different cases, we have a verb in the infinitive form, right? So the idea is that we can see or we can match the first part about certainty with the second part about the interpretation of the signs, right? So, for example, a ver, let's see. We have a sign. Yeah, we have a sign. It's like this one, right? And we have this sign, and it says 1 kilometer. My question is, what does it mean? Piénsenlo bien. What does it mean?
Teacher, it must mean that to 1 kilometer there are a hotel.
Good, very good. It must mean that there is a huddle in 1 kilometer. Yes,
Yeah.
that's good, very good. At the beginning, the first time that I showed this sign, somebody told me, teacher, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a hospital or maybe it's a hotel. So the person was not sure. If the person is not sure, how can he express? He doesn't know if it's hotel or hospital. So
It may be it mm, may mean there's a hospital in 1 kilometer.
exactly. So the person said, teacher, it maybe means, or it may mean, whatever both, that there is a hospital in or a hotel in 1 kilometer because the person was between both, but very
Yeah.
good with maybe or may
Teacher,
because
but hospital is different.
yeah, hospital is a Red Cross.
Yeah.
But the person was
Yes.
confused. The person was confused, right? So that's why. Muy bien, excellent. So in that case, Andres is like, no, no estoy seguro que es must because it's a hotel. So, listo, good, very good. Esa persona no estaba segura, por eso usaba maybe or may. Decía como, no sé, puede ser esto, puede ser lo otro. ¿Listo? Bueno, questions about the difficulties so far?
No,
Teacher.
teacher is
No?
this.
Listo, very good. Andre, do me a favor and select three numbers from 1 to 10. Three numbers, any numbers that you want.
Three numbers. Oh,
From 1 to 10.
teacher, numbers of persons.
No, just, no, I mean, numbers, no names, but numbers.
Okay.
From 1
Five.
to 10. 5,
7,
7,
4,
and 8.
4,
Ah, 4, sorry, 4. Listo, good. And Manuel, the same, 3 numbers,
2,
2,
6, and 9.
6, and 9. Perfect, very good. Guys, your responsibility right now as the end of the class approaches. Please, here we have 10 different signs. Ready? So look the numbers that you had. For example, Andre, you selected 5, 7, and 4. So you select 5, 7, and 4 and explain what is the meaning of that sign. And the same Manuel. Manuel selected 2, yeah, 6,
Yeah.
and 9. Ready? So look at them and express or explain to me what is the meaning of that sign, because I don't know any of the signs. I'm super bad for the traffic sign. So explain what is that for me. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 1 minute, prepare the sentences for expressing the signs. And when you are ready, just let me know, okay?
Oh,
Take your time, look at the signs, analyze them.
teacher, the 5 sign, it must mean that you 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 have to stop.
Perfect. It's an obligation, no? So it's mandatory. It must mean that you have to stop, in that part, you have to stop. Good. And she is sure, so it must mean. Perfecto. Excellent. Any other?
well, and sign 2, it's obligation, because was abbreviation there, the sign was red. This case is green. So you can, how do you mean tirar? O sea, como que
Throw. Pero si dices
throw.
can,
You
it's a
can throw the.
possibility. It's a possibility or it's an obligation?
It's an obligation.
Okay, so how is obligation?
In this case, you have to throw the trash into the trash can.
Very good. Manu, are you sure or are you supposing?
No, are you sure? I am sure.
So it definitely or it certainly means that you have to throw the garbage into the trash can. Good, no?
Yeah.
So, but remember the first part, it surely means, or it must mean, because you are sure. Good.
Yeah.
So very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Number 2, number 2, the second sign that you selected.
Teacher, the 7 signal, it it could mean that near there are a traffic light.
There is a traffic
And
light.
you can be careful.
Okay, very good. Well, in that case, it's a recommendation. You should be careful, But yeah, exactly. The information, it's like you can find a traffic light close by, so you should be careful. No, but that's okay. Very good, perfect. And like Andres says, like it's a possibility, so it could mean. No, so she's not totally sure. She says it could mean. Muy bien, excellent. Manu.
And 6 sign, and it's an obligation, and so you can drive in both directions.
That is not an obligation. The expression is okay, But remember,
But
can is for
no. All right. Well, is an um
permission.
permission.
Permission. Very good. Excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
Manu, are you sure or not?
No, I'm sure.
It definitely means.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. It definitely means that you can drive in both directions.
Perfect. Very good. Excellent. That's it. Number 4, Andre.
Teacher, number 4, signal, mm, it must mean that you aren't allowed to enter.
It's a prohibition, no? So it says, hey, do not
Yes,
enter. So it must mean that you can't or you are not allowed to enter there. Yeah, it's closed. That's it. Excellent, Andrea. Very good. Andrea has very well knowledge of the traffic signs, no? She knows all them all of right. Good,
yes,
good. And
Well,
Manu, number 9,
and
bro.
sign nine, uh, you can allow to walk here. So, and definitely, it definitely means that you can walk for that path.
Exactly. Good. So in that case, you can or you are allowed to. Only one. Muy bien. So it's a permission that you can walk in that part because it's a pedestrian area.
Yeah,
Do you know what is the meaning of pedestrian?
just no.
Pedestrian? What is that?
That you can walking.
Pedestrian, it's the person who is walking, ¿no? O sea, el peatón. What do we call peatón?
Ah,
teacher,
peatón. Okay.
And
crosswalk.
crosswalk? Yes, crosswalk is this one, ¿no? The one that it's like in front, bueno, más bien como under the traffic light.
Es como el paso,
Yes,
¿verdad?
exactly. So it's like there, what we call like zebra, but they call crosswalk. It's a place where the person can cross walking, no? So, and also it's bueno, for the pedestrian, it's a permission. Like it, of course, definitely means that you can walk there. And for the drivers, it's a obligation, no? Because there is a
Yes,
pedestrian, so if there is a pedestrian, you have to stop there. It's an obligation, right? So you
yes.
have got to stop. Muy bien. Questions about it, difficulties? ¿Cómo estuvo? Easy?
So.
No, it was easy. You did it all right. You did it all right.
Uh,
So in this case, what we did today, it was learning two different things to do. First, describing my certainty. So most, could, definitely, maybe, perhaps, right? Describing certainty, yes. And also with about the certainty, we were talking like, okay, if we know or we don't know, but describing the certainty of a sign. And with the sign, we describe different things. Prohibition, prohibition, permission, and obligation. Permission and obligation. So now you can do both things at the same time. You learn how to do that, and also you learn how to do that. And the final exercise, it was to connect both sentences, describing if it was a permission, prohibition, or obligation, and if you were sure or not sure about it. Ready? So wonderful job. Guys, basically that would be all for today. Sorry, the checkpoint of the week number 10 has two parts. I think that you are in the process of doing it. The first part, it's going to be the description of a TV series or TV show or movie or whatever, right? The idea is that you can use the INGs and EDs describing the characters of the show. For example, if you are describing, I don't know, let's see, bueno, any TV show like Fast and Furious, so you have to use the adjectives in ed and ing for describing what's your opinion about the movie. Oh no, the movie it's very interesting. I feel super frustrated with no sé quién diet, blah blah blah. And then you start including those adjectives for describing your opinions and your feelings about that movie or that series, right? Also, it's a good idea that you can include who and which in order to describe who's that. Like, no sé, let's say Paul Walker, who is race, a driver, you know, a race driver. It's a person who la la la, and I feel frustrated when he died, no sé qué. So using those two things, right? And in the second part, we are going to have the description of a piece of news. Ready? Might be about the sports, might be about celebrities, might be about whatever you want. Ready? The idea is that you use past continuous, simple past, present perfect continuous in order to describe the actions, and also a little bit of modal verbs in order to try to interpret what is the meaning of that situation. Not that James visited Colombia, ta ta ta. It must mean that he is looking at him here in the country. Maybe, no, it's a possibility. There was an earthquake no say, in the Caribbean region. It must be, or it possibly means that the tectonic plates are moving, ta, ta, ta. So also you can include the modal verbs in order to interpret what the piece of news is looking for you. Ready? So those are the two parts of the checkpoint of the week number 10. Ready? Got it?
Okay, teacher, I got it.
Yes,
Very good,
teacher.
guys. Good, excellent. So for the day, that's gonna be all. Let's call the day, and that's it. Okay. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the participation, for the attention, for everything. See you the next week. We have 2 classes, so see you there. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.
See you
Good
later.
night. See you
Goodbye. Have a
later.
good night.
Bye.